Blog Talk Radio.
Well, what's with it, everybody? It is Tuesday night, November 15th, 2022, and it's time to discuss it all here in the Sports Attic. You can find us on Twitter at Larcher Lawrenson. This show, of course, you can always watch us while we're doing it live right here on Twitch, on Twitter, on Facebook Live, and YouTube Live. We're live right now for all of the audio listeners out there, including Lou. I think maybe Lou's out there. Want to talk some Jets, talk about some Jersey. And some of y'all are listening tomorrow on your commute. Wherever you get your podcasts, thank you so much for tuning in. I think there's plenty of things that have happened since we last saw you. Of course, Al has his daily fantasy show every Friday morning. 5 a.m. we record that thing. We do that live. And then it's available for you to take to work with you. We'll be doing it again this week to discuss Week 11 stuff. Check us out there. As always, give us a call, 760-454-8834. 760-454-8834. If you're not with us live, sometime do that. Join in on Twitch or wherever, and you can join in on the conversation. That's what we do. Well, my name is Clark Lawrenson. And this fella here to the left, as you're looking at the screen, is Alfred Ferdinand Larcher the third.
Hi, Clark.
Hey, Al.
I'm hurt, and I'm old, and I'm fucking tired, and I work with fucking children.
Oh, it snowed today, too.
I like the first snow of the year, especially when I don't have to leave the house. That's okay. That's the only good thing of the day.
I don't know if it's just that I'm getting older, but I mean, I work with children as well. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Yeah. No. Yeah.
That was the infamous CM Punk quote there.
Oh, yeah. I thought I recognized it. Do you work with children?
Well, I mean, no.
No.
In what sense? I mean, in the physical sense. I was up late last night listening to some podcast of, you see this James Brown. Looks like he was murdered by the CIA. So, it was a hectic night. Yeah, getting into all that.
I've been hearing them advertising that one. Is that would that be a good one to throw on for my commute? Are you in?
I liked it.
Right.
I was a little confused of like how many episodes I actually listened to or the order. But yeah, it was good. I mean, the CIA killed James Brown. Well, what more can I tell you?
I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, it seems like, if the CIA is going to get somebody, you'd get somebody younger than that, because James Brown was kind of an old man by the time he passed. That just surprises me, the thought of it. When I first heard this advertised on the radio about that this podcast that you're talking about, that surprises me. What?
Well, he knew too much,
Oh, James Brown, of all people.
James Brown, yeah. He could... He was the leader of the black community, I mean, like he could start riots if he needed to, or he could, end riots. He stopped a riot after Martin Luther King got assassinated, and that's when the CIA, really started following him. And and then there's this lady who she works in the circus, and she's got all the information. She's got all the documents. So, the podcast is like the journalist interviewing her, trying to figure out, if she's crazy or not.
Well, I do hear that she can be pretty intense.
Yeah. All right. Well, Mitch Hedberg, but
intense.
you're more. stealing jokes. You're more like
lady who works at the circus is intense. Is that that's not a Hedgeberg? Hedgeberg.
Yeah, absolutely is. And you're stealing jokes, so you're more like Carlos Mencia. Who was the guy who stole jokes?
Yeah, I think so. He's a joke stealer. Carlos Mencia. Joe Rogan called him out once back in the day, right?
Yeah.
And then I think Dane Cook's been accused of. I don't know. Are you a fan of seasonal drinks? You know, like the
eggnog.
Eggnog, okay, that's a good one.
We've had many discussions about eggnog and how it should be a year-round product.
Absolutely.
The dairy industry.
Have you hit it up yet? It's at the Jewel.
Well, I have I generally do one carton of eggnog a year.
Yeah.
Because it's so good and it's so many calories that I've moved now on to I enjoy the eggnog ice cream as much as I enjoy eggnog.
Oh.
And I can eat that in a little more moderation. I can control myself, have a little taste of the eggnog, put it away.
Yeah.
So I go with the eggnog ice cream this time of year. Big fan of that.
These folks over here in Munster, Indiana, the Three Floyds Brewery is all the rage. I know you're not, you don't drink all that much beer, Al.
Waste of time.
I did a couple of like October beers. I did way more than usual, probably like 3 or 4 this season. And then today at Jewel, they have a Christmas porter, and I'm giving that a chance here. It's the Alpha Kings, not normal.
What am I hosting the show with Chad Briggs today?
Ooh, is this a beer?
I don't know. Is it? You tell me.
I'm going to have him on and ask him what the hell he's talking about. Because, it's a beer. I don't understand. Yeah, all right.
It is labeled a beer when you buy it. That's true.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Well, what's up? What do you know?
Not much. Just
I hear right giving hell a little bit over there.
Yeah. She's we just all woke up. So she just ate dinner. Now she's got the window's open, so she's looking at the Christmas tree across the street.
Did she get
what the hell that's all about?
Yeah.
No, she doesn't do coffee.
Okay. How about yourself?
She's secular, so the Christian Christmas decorations really confuse her. I have not had coffee yet. I'm having a Dr. Pepper Zero as we speak. I started a new Netflix show. I've decided, the only shows I can watch are foreign language programs because it forces me to put my phone down and read stuff.
To actually watch it.
So I started some show where it's a Korean lady, a young Korean girl who's autistic. She's got a thing for whales. She loves talking about whales. And now she's a lawyer. And, they're trying to figure out, if she can be a good lawyer or not because she's very autistic. So, it was good. I'm an episode and a half in. I'm enjoying it so far. What's up, Sean?
Okay. Hey,
Checking
Sean.
in from the East Coast.
Mm-hmm. I hope things are well out there. It's a little later over there. It's a whole hour later where he's coming from even. I don't even know how that works.
That was a pain in the ass with Dungeons and Dragons because, I had to wake up early. It seemed like a regular time for the East Coast people, but it's early for us Midwestern.
What time were you playing?
Like 6 o'clock.
Are you all still doing it?
No.
Yeah. No poker anymore either. Pandemic poker, pandemic Dungeons and Dragons, right?
I still want to know if you're a good poker player or not. You've never let me play you, so I've never been able to surmise your skills.
I finished the 3-episode short run docu series, Killer Sally, of course. I know we kind of mentioned you'd seen the preview for it.
Yeah.
And it went pretty much as expected. She pulled the trigger twice. And I don't know what's right. I don't know if she should have spent 25. Well, I don't want to give away.
25 years. Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
Shit, you heard
Spoiler alert over here.
Spoiler alert over here. You've always called me the spoiler.
Yeah, the Kirkland spoiler.
Yeah. That's gonna be that's my wrestling character. If I could ever do good in E-Feds, that's my character.
You and Andrew. Andrew's you're spoiler 1, he's spoiler 2. The Kirkland spoilers.
Yep.
Well, I finished all the Jeffrey Dahmer stuff, and I'll spoil it. He gets murdered in prison at the end. But
he does. I'll be darned.
He does. It's terrible. But he finds God at the end, and the guy who kills him is really into Jesus, and he thinks God wants to put vengeance upon Jeffrey Dahmer. So it was really a battle of the gods that killed this monster. He did eat some people.
90 seconds.
Well, all right. Well, there goes the live blog talk crowd. Shit.
Right.
Oh well.
Yep, blew that one, Clark. Thanks.
Well, hell, they need an abort thing over there.
There goes all the calls.
Yeah, there goes Lou. Sorry, Lou.
We're going call free tonight, I guess.
No, I think we can still get calls. Hell, I can always go Bluetooth here and just have somebody call the damn phone or whatever.
That you can do.
Hell, they can join us.
Checking in.
Somebody can join us on screen if they'd like.
That's true. It's true. It's always
hell.
The world is always open. The world is our oyster.
Two-Tone was here. Like the palm for Guava's here. Sean's out there. Guys, it's great to see you.
Yeah, full house.
To be here.
We talking little bears.
I'm 4 episodes into the Dahmer thing, Al. Interesting. Grandma's really wanting to push the religion on him, and he's pushing back on that quite a bit.
He's pushing something else.
It's so hard. Like, I don't know. Like, do I want to watch the damn show? And I just now I keep it on. We have this thing about killers. Like we watch shows. More people are watching the Jeffrey Dahmer shit than are watching other things, right? Like I don't know.
More people are watching Dahmer than El Rey, and El Rey's is a much better show. The filming of Dahmer is interesting. The acting of Dahmer is really good, and unlike El Rey, I'm able to. It's 6:45. Unlike El Rey, I'm able to Google to see what they're exaggerating on and what they're not. With Dahmer.
Yeah. I'm going to gather there's a lot of exaggerating. I would gather.
Yeah, like the neighbor's not completely real.
Oh yeah, the neighbor's from a couple houses over, right?
Yeah,
the one who makes the call. Yeah, or a couple buildings over.
Couple buildings. So,
passed in about 2011, if you will. No offense.
I think I mentioned this last week. I had a Jeffrey Dahmer book in like freshman year of high school or junior high. And, they called my parents on it because I was reading the Dahmer book. And, I looked it up. That book is now worth like $60. I wish I still had it. The paperback, really? Man. Yeah.
Wow. That's so wild. Yeah. Still fighting that urge to watch those. The other update is we did last night decide to watch the second to last episode of The Walking Dead. Remember I told you the app could get you ahead, and so we were ahead. Yeah. And so we waited until this week, and then on Sunday the finale goes. And maybe I'll give you the spoiler-free update at the end of that. But it's it's over. How about that? We'll go with that. It's over.
Well, did they get rid of the zombies, or the zombies still?
Oh yeah.
Well, we don't want to spoil it.
They're not spinning it off 3-4 different times. Everybody already knows who's living. They're already spinning it off. So, was it a sign book? Sesame wants to know.
Well, I sent the letter to Dahmer, but I didn't send him enough commissary to get a reply. So,
I think we can still take calls at 760-454-8834. So give it a shot if you'd like to join us. It would have been worth more. How long? I mean, this isn't spoiler shit. How long did he live in prison after? I don't remember like that exactly. A couple years, decade,
a couple of years. I think a few years.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it was quite a decade. I mean, it seemed pretty fast. I don't know. I don't remember.
Are you all caught up on Kim's Convenience? I know that's your show.
Yeah, I finished Kim's Convenience. I've watched it like 2 or 3 times now.
I've got to finish it. I absolutely have to finish that. That's one. All right. Well, I'll put that one back in the list. There we go.
So according to Two-Tone Chi-Town, the show jumped the shark after Rick died. Thanks for the spoiler, Two-Tone. Spoiler 3 over here.
Yeah, that's the worst spoiler of all time because Rick isn't dead. He's getting a spinoff show coming up. Him and Michonne got a spinoff coming. Come on.
Are you going to be watching these stupid ass spinoffs too?
No, I don't. I mean,
you are.
we stopped Fear. Like, well, we have like 5 episodes to catch up on Fear the Walking Dead, and we never watched the kid one. They had a kid one, but you kind of we almost started to. He's right though. It was done when they did the whole thing. So
Herschel, I remember that. He was the old guy, right? He had the farm. That's the last time
Herschel was good. The entrance of the entrance of Negan was great. It was fantastic, the initial entrance. But anyway, I did like the I have a favorite scene from that, and I'll find that for next week from the whole show. And I don't know if anybody else points it out, but anyway, go ahead.
When did the name Megan become Megan?
I've always heard Megan back in the day. Yeah.
Backwards ass town are you from? It was Megan. My whole life it was Megan. And suddenly 10 years ago it becomes Megan.
Two different names. There's a Megan and a Megan.
But they're spelled the same.
They can be. Megan's spelled like 6,000 different ways. So, like, you know, it's Meggan, it's Meghan, it's Megan, Meagan. That one is Megan, but some pronounce it Megan. Yeah, Herschel was great. The Herschel stuff was great. Yeah. Anyway, there was a moment after Rick was gone that they had a little bit of a resurgence. Surprisingly, it was after they did like a 6-year time jump that there was a bit of a resurgence. That's it. Yeah, we'll see. I think what I want to do is read the graphic novels more. I actually at one time was watching someone read it to you on YouTube. You can do that with YouTube. Somebody reads the graphic novels to you as well.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't tell if somebody was driving down your street or what.
Clark, it's Walking Dead. How are you?
What? Hello?
You know, you need to be brainless to watch Walking Dead. All the episodes.
Any name with an A in it is now replaced with Y's.
Yeah, it's becoming an epidemic. It really is. I mean, there's a lot of these really strange name changes. You know, as a karaoke host, I deal with names on I don't know, what are you waving off flies?
No, let me spell it for you. Let me spell it for you. No, I'm going to spell it for you.
Oh, yeah. I always, whenever somebody tells me they're going to spell it, I purposely spell it wrong if they're watching. I just spell it the way I want to spell it.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'll tell them, like, look, how about I'll just say it right, okay? How about that?
Yeah. Is it, Sesame wants to know, is it Lurcher? Yil Lurcher?
Yes. My name is now L Archer.
Yep.
Why?
While we use very old names for our kids, like we didn't spell them strange, like Hazel and Vera.
Yeah, young people, hipsters, people of your generation, Clark, they think it's creative, you know, to put the Y in there instead of just spelling it like it is. Me, you know, my name is 3 generations long. My middle name is named after the great Franz Ferdinand, right after, because my grandfather got the name right after he was assassinated. So,
your grandfather got the name after he was assassinated? How did he get the name after he was assassinated? Wouldn't he have gotten the name when he was born?
No. Franz Ferdinand was assassinated a few months before my father's birth.
Oh.
So, in honor of Franz Ferdinand kicking off World War II, they gave him the middle name Ferdinand, which now I still carry that name. So,
Clerk,
you know, basically my roots go back to kicking off World War II.
I do have some Swedish going on in me, Al. I really do. There's a bit of Swedish there.
Well, that explains the stubbornness. That perfectly. Now we get it.
We know. That's the blue eyes, and that must be where Hazel gets the blonde hair, right?
That's why I can't get you to spend less ownership on your teams in Draft Kings and tournaments. It's the stubbornness of the Swede.
Can I ask you something? As a friend of mine, when you see that I have a daughter that's born and she's born blonde haired, and none of the rest of us in the family are blonde, do you give a question on that? Is that a question from you? Or no
Never
question?
crossed my mind.
Okay,
Never crossed my mind.
Me neither. Not as their dad. Like it never crossed my mind. Never once. That'd be sexist.
Come to think of it, the baby kind of looks like the spoiler too.
What?
Yeah.
What baby?
The blonde-haired one.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if you could call her a baby. Like,
which one's that? That's Hazel, right? With the blonde?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. Hazel kind of looks like the spoiler too.
She looks kind of gorgeous, is what she does look. Oh, hell, buddy. Did you watch any football this last weekend?
Well, I did. I watched, the Chicago Bears. We have a quarterback. People were preaching doom and gloom. They were ready to write off this quarterback. Some people, even the day they drafted him, couldn't stand him. But me, I've been a Justin Fields believer since day one, QB1, and now he has arrived. I was talking to a kid last week he's a young kid. He's like 21. He comes into the bar, and he just got into sports betting. And I try to explain to him that I don't really sports bet. I play a game of skill in fantasy football. It's different than sports betting. He can't grasp it. So he always talks sports betting with me. And he wanted to take a prop of like Justin Fields at 165 yards and take the over. And I'm explaining to him like this is after, last week. I'm explaining to him like, it's an insane outliner for a guy to rush an NFL record of 170 yards. So the chances of him doing it 2 weeks in a row are very slim. And I'd put the over and under at about 70. Well, was I wrong? The guy puts up 150 yards again this week. Just getting it done on the ground.
I was shocked. I think the over under on most places was in the 50s still.
Yeah.
For him. Which, I mean, I don't think you can do that anymore.
His price on Draft Kings officially risen to that of an elite quarterback this week. I made the mistake last week. I didn't, I talked on the show about fading him because it was the right thing to do in tournament play because his ownership was so high. I still ended up running more Justin Fields teams than any other team. I just didn't play him in like single entry stuff. I went with the brisket, which was just a total disaster. And, I lost a lot of money this week, mainly because, I took the hard stands, and we'll get into this on the Friday show. I completely faded CeeCee Lamb, who was the number one wide receiver of the week.
Yeah, he had a good week. Yeah, absolutely.
That killed me. But yeah, so I watched a little football. I got a little sleep during the game as well.
If you're the Detroit Lions and you gave up a 25-yard run to Justin Fields on the first play of the game, like how do you do that? Like are they just that good? And is he that fast that boom, you can do it? It was crazy.
Well, it's a little bit of all of the above. I mean, the Detroit Lions are a terrible team. The Justin Fields is that fast and that good. And, the Bears plan for it. The problem with both defenses, they can't really stop anything. And, the Bears are in another situation this week where they're playing just a horrific defense in the Atlanta Falcons, and it should be another big game for Justin Fields. So, yeah, I mean, things are looking right. It gets a little more difficult. I mean, you eventually get Buffalo. I think maybe with the Ravens.
Atlanta's pass defense is pretty piss poor.
Right.
So would you keep him in the pocket and keep on trying that? Like, let's just unload here. Maybe a combination of both still. What are you doing this week if you're Luke Getsy, Al?
Well, I would try to attack through the air. I mean, I would give that a go, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's just going to set up for breakdowns where Justin Fields is still going to run. Generally speaking, teams that can't stop the pass are also pretty bad at stopping quarterback rushing. Yeah. So I mean, it's just another smash spot for Chicago, and it's another game they could win. And I hope they don't win. I'm fully on the tank train. I'm good with it. I don't think you set out to tank, but
did somebody accidentally drop a few bills into Cairo Santos's book bag on his way out? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, maybe polls. Maybe polls gave him
that's that's the thing there. Yeah, it worked out. It's a bummer to lose to the Lions as you're watching the game. It still is, but I mean, that was the difference between, like 8 spots in the draft right now. I don't know. Here's something interesting. Brisker through 10 games right now. This is from at NFL Rookie Watch. In the handle, instead of a C, they're spelling it weird. In the handle, instead of a C in watch, it's an X. So NFL Rookie Watch. They do have a check mark. I believe that's legit. Through 10 games, 316 coverage snaps, 195 yards allowed, 62 total tackles, 3 sacks, PFF's highest graded rookie safety. All right.
Nice. Maybe instead of letting a check mark verify your news for you, you should do a little research and actually check the information yourself.
No.
Like that's how like legitimate news and journalism works.
But I'm not legitimate news or journalism. I just want to be able to read it and trust that it's Adam Schefter.
Trusting somebody just because they're famous is a recipe for absolute disaster. Yeah, it's not really that hard. You just look and see
having to click on their name and shit. Like, why? Why do I have to do that? That's lazy. I don't know.
So the platform you pay zero money for, you're having an issue with.
Yeah, it's lame.
It's like the definition of elitism. It really is.
Yeah, I'm fucking elite, Al. I don't know if you knew that.
Why don't you just like subscribe to a news service of news information you know and you can trust?
Yeah.
That way, journalists are actually getting paid for the information they're providing. Know the source is legitimate. That's how we used to do it 10, 15 years ago, and like it worked. Instead of like a free for all of
we don't
X
have time
amount of characters.
We don't have time for that anymore, though.
Who's this we? You don't have time.
Aiden Hutchinson has 5.5 sacks. Drake Jackson 3. Jaquan Brisker 3. Sam Williams 3. Trayvon Walker 2.5. Kid's in the competition, or he's in the competition, the conversation. Jack Sanborn had a pretty solid game at linebacker. Who's missing?
2 sacks.
Who's missing Roquan Smith now? He's all over the place.
2 sacks and led the team in tackles.
Yep. Oh. Yeah, not too shabby. He seemed to be all over the place out there.
Yeah, so that was a fun NFL slate. The Minnesota Vikings take down the Buffalo Bills.
Yep,
which was good. That's what got us Trump. I would argue Hillary Clinton is what got us Trump, but I mean that's a whole different show.
Ooh, I can't wait. Watch the announcement tonight at 9:00. I'm getting excited.
What's going on at 9:00?
Ooh, he's got a big announcement.
Oh, you're still obsessed with the Trump thing. Yeah, I don't even know what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
Is that Eastern time or Central time? I mean,
I don't know. Oh, maybe it's 8:00. I don't know. Hell.
Well, you'll get your information. Like everyone in your little wind tunnel will have all the news for you. So
I'll have to click on the name though, just to make sure.
Why would you? Them. Wouldn't you just scroll through your timeline and see like 3 people announce the same thing, and then maybe verify it through a news source if you're really that concerned if it's true or not? If you're like not thinking, if you're not assuming it's accurate, wouldn't you then check with it?
No, I'm not that into checking for accuracy.
That makes sense.
It's just not my thing. I like to just float out there and just retweet anything. Doesn't matter.
Let's see what else is going on. Yeah, I has anything happened today? I just woke up. There were no big news stories. The trains haven't stopped running or anything.
What trains?
Just trains in general. I don't know. I'm just throwing something out there. It might happen.
Well, there was snow on the ground this morning. So I think a lot of people said, I'm not going to go into the office. I was one of them. And I worked from home.
You do realize it was like half an inch, if that. Nothing.
Yeah. But for some reason, I didn't think it was coming till the afternoon. So I was just like, fuck this. I wasn't going to ride my bike in it.
All day today, all day tomorrow.
I'll ride my bike in it tomorrow. Like tomorrow afternoon, I think. See, again, I think it's tomorrow afternoon. It'll probably be here as soon as I wake up in the morning.
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be tomorrow morning, according to the the news yesterday, but the weather changes. My car is in the shop because we have this scam in Chicago. If you're not from Chicago, one of the worst cities in the world to live, by the way. Nice, you can visit here, it's fine, but just a terrible place to live.
It's awesome.
Some of the highest, the property taxes are going up again. Like, just
They're
brutal.
hardly high at all.
Crime is out of control.
Great.
And then they have this thing, and this isn't just a
Crime.
Chicago problem. This is a national problem where people are stealing the catalytic converters. Well, my car's been very loud lately, and I'm not sure my catalytic converter's been stolen or not. And at the end of the month, I have to pass a test every year because my car is old. Their ageism. I have to bring my car into some facility where some guy sticks a plug in it and goes, "All right, you pass." Or they go, you didn't pass. And if you don't pass, you can't buy a city sticker or the license plate sticker. If you don't have the license plate sticker, you get a ticket every day. So,
Al, you love Texas. Head for Texas. There you go.
I would love Texas. Absolutely. Right, guy, you want to go to Texas?
Crime.
Think about it. So, so I have to drop my car off at a mechanic in order to get it to be able to pass this test. And if my catalytic converter has been stolen, well, then I'm screwed because the city cannot protect me from the thieves. The thieves are everywhere taking these things, yet I'm still responsible for being able to pass an emission test that they require, yet they can't protect the thing that actually would allow me to pass the test. So if that's the case, I'm absolutely writing the press, and I'm going to go to Brad Edwards, and then I'm going to hit up my alderman. Because there has to be an exception. There has to be an exception to if you cannot provide the security. If you can't protect me, then why am I required to pass a test of something that you can't stop from happening? Why is the burden on me as somebody who simply parks on the street? There's an expectation as a citizen that my car should be safe on the street. So we'll see how that plays out. And back in my day, when you dropped,
I just got rid of my car. Now,
well, somebody got rid of it. Someone made that decision for you.
Nobody's taking that Cadillac converter from my bike. I'll tell you that much. Nobody is.
At least.
No, but I've made the decision not to buy another car. I mean, they gave me a payout. They gave me a hell of a decent payout, to be honest.
That's true.
But I don't know.
But your family still has a vehicle. You're still able to go to the grocery store. You're still able to function.
I ride my bike to the grocery store. It works out well.
My guess is when you go grocery shopping for the entire family, you don't ride your bicycle.
No, I bring the trailer and then I bring that in and push it around as my cart. It's great.
Okay.
It's perfect.
I mean, I think in order to, you don't have to in Chicago have a car, but it's extremely helpful, especially in the winter.
Less of us should have a car.
Especially in the winter when, the CTA is completely unreliable. It's always the elite people who have cars and have the ability to get around who say other people shouldn't have cars.
This city's gerrymandering has changed my ward, Al. My first 4 years here, I was in the 45th ward, and starting on Jan 1, I am now a 30th ward member. When I voted, I had to go to a different place last time. Thank you. And while I was there, on my way out, somebody asked me to sign a petition for somebody who's running for the running to be the 30th ward here, to be the alderman. Our guy, the old guy, is retiring from the 30th ward, and what he said was, he's like, "Yeah, my friend's running. Can you sign this?" I'm like, "Yeah." I go, "Is he really a friend, or you just tell everybody that to make it feel a little nicer?" He's like, "No, he's really my friend." I was like, "Yeah, that's what I would say too." And then he mentioned that bike infrastructure I was like, "What's his deal?" And he's like, this. And then he's like, "In bike infrastructure." And I'm like, "Huh?" And I go, "For about 3 months, I've been a bike rider now." And I go, "I got to tell you, getting to the other side of that damn highway or the Metro, it's damn near impossible because all you got is Irving Park or Addison. And then I got to ride on a damn sidewalk, which is illegal for somebody who's over 12 years old, as you know." And I said, "We got to figure this out. We've got to figure out a way to get around the damn Kennedy." That's it.
I also, I'm not in favor of 12-year-olds on the sidewalk either. People under 12, they should be in the streets too.
So
Nobody should be on the sidewalk with their bikes.
7-year-olds?
Yeah.
Are
Straight.
7-year-olds all right? Or
When I
just
was a
12?
kid, when I was a kid on the mean streets of Park Ridge, Illinois, I rode my bicycle in the streets. Sure, we
Wow.
lived on a dead end, but you know.
When I was a kid on those mean streets of Kirkland, Illinois, I was riding on the street, Al. Hell, I was playing in the street.
Damn right. So these kids today, they could be on the street at 7, please.
I don't know. I saw a dad on his e-bike that they were leaving the Jewel today as I was. And his one daughter was on a bike, and then he had another child like sitting on the front of his e-bike with their basket. And then I take the way to take the road home, and all of a sudden I meet back up with them again, and they'd been riding down Irving Park on the sidewalk the entire time, and they were continuing to ride on the sidewalk. And I almost said, "Sir, you, sir, are not allowed to be here. Your daughter, yeah, absolutely. She can ride there. You, sir, you cannot." But I didn't. I refrained. I figured it's not my point. It's not my bitch. It's not my.
Well, Irving Park is extremely dangerous. And, you know, and if that's the case, you shouldn't take your kids on a route that involves, you know, putting your kids in danger like that. I mean,
Yeah. I take
smart.
the easiest routes. And I'd be lying if I said I hadn't ridden on the sidewalk for a bit with my kids. But here, like just to get across Irving Park, just to get across the Kennedy or the Metro even, just to get to the other side. It's insane. I will say that when I'm riding on my own, I do ride right down Addison during I say the hell with it. I'm like, hey, you cars, you want to use these as 2 lanes right now? You can ride behind me. I'm going 19, 20 mile an hour. That's only 10 mile an hour less than what a car's going.
Well, you're not really biking. You're on a motorized vehicle. So
I'm biking. You
I mean,
still don't understand what an
vehicle.
e-bike is, but that's all right.
Yeah, I mean, is it not a motorized vehicle?
No, it's I am pedaling the entire time.
It doesn't have a motor that you're fueling energy to with your minimal pedaling.
My minimal pedaling is incorrect. If you said minimal pedaling, you would be very incorrect. I pedal if I have it set all the way to 5, yeah, I'm not pedaling that much. But I don't set it all the way to 5. I set it about 3.
Your motorized bike does have an option that you choose not to use, but it exists.
I mean, I use it. I just don't use it completely. Like there's 5 different levels.
You're on a motorized vehicle. You're not biking. I mean, it's a motorized vehicle.
It's biking. I don't understand your argument here. Like you would be great with an e-bike. Like they're amazing. It provides great exercise. It provides a lot of great things. It's fantastic. No throttle. None of these 40 mile an hour sons of bitches either. Those are mopeds. None of those things. That's crazy. I got an e-assist bike.
Assisted bike.
It is. It's an e-assist. It is. Tomorrow I'm meeting with a guy. I'm going to buy.
Good things are happening.
What the hell is that? Tomorrow I'm going to buy about 11 e-bikes, actually.
Wow. Big Money Clark.
Yeah. We're jumping on in, my friend. We're going e-bike tours. We're jumping on in, my friend. Could you hear that?
Yeah.
Yep. Great. Nailed it.
I'm going to be talking to the alderman about banning these e-bikes from anything but the street.
Ooh, that's a bad idea. Like it depends. Like there's different levels. Like a grade. I think they have grades. Like the 3rd grade. Yeah, there's certain grades that you can't let on there. You can't let on the bike paths, but they are. Hell, there's cars riding down the bike paths, Al. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Man, I'd be throwing marbles at those cars. When I biked, you know, I always had marbles in my top pocket of my tactical vest.
Did you really?
Yeah, man. If somebody fucked with me, I'd throw a marble at their fucking windshield.
I've thought about stickers to throw on people that are parked in the bike lane. Like they would do the bar next door to your joint, where when I parked in their lot, they came out and
so happy about it.
Came out and put a no parking sign. I was fucking stoked. I loved it. You couldn't get that sticker off for shit. It was amazing. No,
that was a fuck you sticker.
But then I'm like, what if I just had magnets and I could just like throw them, stick them right there.
A small shard of porcelain will shatter glass, by the way. Because when I'm in the middle, when I'm riding home at 1 a.m, with like some cars start fucking with me, I got the other pocket. I got the marbles in one. The marbles are a warning shot. And then in the other pocket, I got the porcelain. And I will, throw out those shards of porcelain and shatter windows.
Wow.
It'll break like bullets, So you scare them and then you make your escape.
So meanwhile, someone's stealing your Cadillac converter and you're breaking people's windows. I get it.
No. I'm not breaking anyone's window who isn't messing with me. Like,
okay,
putting me in danger. It's a defense, not an act of aggression. I've been thinking about tagging lately. Getting some spray paint and maybe doing a little tagging.
I think
it worked.
I think the best taggers are good artists, though.
It worked well for that Banksy guy. Maybe you could have Alski, and I could go around the city and because somebody writes Big L everywhere. Like that was big, 5 years ago. Somebody was
Big
tagging.
L.
Yeah, they're like Big L.
Do you think could you tag my wall over here for me?
Yeah, I tag your wall.
My wall needs it. It really does.
Yeah, I'm thinking about making some symbols, and I want to be a good tagger though. Like I got to figure out how to, really I just want to master one picture. Like, the third camera's popping in there.
Well, yeah. I want to see. Can you can tag that wall over there?
Look yeah. Absolutely.
I've been thinking about just getting black spray paint and just doing NWO, like just the original, the NWO right there.
That actually would be really cool.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
That might be the first compliment I've gotten from you in a while. Thank you, Al. I appreciate it.
Well, no, I like the clown. I like the clown lamp. I've always said that.
Okay. Not a fan of this or my haircut, though, but that's all right.
Well, your haircut's ridiculous. I mean, it's,
what's wrong with the hair? You didn't even notice. I got it cut.
Well, you got a hat on, so how the hell would I notice? Do you have you look like Dorothy Tucker. You got the Dorothy Tucker haircut.
I didn't get it cut. I'm just wearing a pony, my friend.
Yeah, you should be arrested.
What's up? Huh?
You should be. You need those Queer Eye guys to come kidnap you and fix you.
I was back home in Kirkland a week and a half ago, and I went to pick up pizza, and I walked out, and the guy was like, I was chatting with him about the Bears, and he said, I bet you have daughters. And I thought it was because I was wearing a Chicago Sky hat. But then I thought about it. It was because I was wearing a fucking ponytail, and it was a pink ponytail holder. I think that's why he brought it up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, he was wondering. It was one or the other. Yeah, your hair, you remind me of CBS's Dorothy Tucker. I think you have very similar hair. So
who's Dorothy Tucker?
She a long time. I thought you were a Chicago.
How do you know who Dorothy Tucker is?
How do you not know who Dorothy Tucker is if you claim you're from Chicago? Come on, man. Let's get real.
Oh, she's great.
But I think you kind of have Dorothy Tucker here. So a
little bit. That's great. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
That's kind. Any other big insights from your Chicago Bear watching, other than the fact that for me, Al, it's that people are saying that Justin Fields can't throw yet, but I think that's just folks who aren't actually watching the games.
Well, he makes some pretty passes. It's just the consistency's not there. Nor are the attempts either. Nor is the talent that surround him.
Let's up those attempts.
My take on the Chicago Bears is I just can't wait for next season. I mean, truly, and that doesn't mean I want the season to end or I don't want to watch any more Bears games. It just means I'm excited for next year.
I'm with you 100% on that. I can't wait for the off season, to be honest. I'm excited to see where this thing is going, and I'm excited about every damn game I watch right now. I really am. For a team that isn't winning ball games, I enjoy watching them so damn much.
Be nice.
Oh, I know the news today that you might have missed, Al.
Let go. Okay.
Did you see who got put on IR?
Yeah, Cooper Kupp. I will never make a fantasy football trade ever.
I was going to bring that
up. Ever again.
That's not the one. That's not the one I was going to bring up, but I thought of you, Al, when of your trade. I'm sorry, man. Oh, and we've got to talk in a little bit. I'll bring up Joe Green made a trade offer to me, and I've got to ask you about it. He made one today. that I'll ask you about. Sorry.
I'm going to ban him from trading. He is going to get a trading ban. That's going to be one of the rules next year we're voting on. Should Joe Green be allowed to make trades?
No, the deal here is that it's going to be the Ebner show with David Montgomery because Khalil Herbert has found himself on the IR.
Oh, Ebner's probably a good pickup on the free agency wire. They like him a lot.
I agree. I agree. I think he's going to get the Herbert touches, but what does that mean though? I mean, Herbert hasn't exactly been gangbusters there either.
Well, I mean, the Bears have been going with a hot hand, and I think what happened was a lot of if you're a defense playing the Chicago Bears, you got to know.
Elijah's ready to say that Kmet might not be that total bust.
Yeah, I don't think he is. He's another guy I've always been, concerned with, but the environment just hasn't been there to make fair judgment.
Right now, I didn't mean to cut you off on the other point there either. But Kmet, what, second most touchdowns in the league, and he's got them all in like the last 3 weeks, pretty much, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy with 0 touchdowns last year, so
right. Man, he was wide open on that touchdown. Yeah, Sunday it was fantastic.
Yeah. Well, what happens is you got, if you're scheming against the Chicago Bears, you're going to try to bring extra defenders up because the Bears can't beat you through the pass.
Right.
So you got to clog up the first 5 yards and try to stop the run. And they did that. And then the Bears started running with the quarterback. And now they're starting to open it up a little more with the passing game. So it's allowing a Kmet to get like brush offs, do a little bit of block and run, and he's making plays. So, and if you notice, most of the elite rushing quarterbacks in the league have dominant tight ends. Like those positions correlate really well. So if Justin Fields is the next, say, Lamar Jackson, then Khalil Kmet could be the next Andrews. So yeah, I mean it's good. It's a good spot. I like it.
Me too. But I'm interested in a little more looking into Ebner as well, seeing what we can do there. There's been talk today too. It's like, well, Velus Jones was a non-dress the other day, and I know that you've never been big on him, but might as well give him another shot at the kickoff returns right now. And hell, I saw, what was his name? Carm over at CHGO. He says, let's put him in the backfield a little bit. What the hell? Not in the Herbert spot necessarily, but let's get.
Why would you put a guy who fumbles in the backfield? Who's this guy? The CGO. Get him off of there.
Hal, are you interested in victories right now, or are you interested in trying out everybody at every position? Are you interested in let's see what happens? Are you interested in giving every last effort a shot right now? Let's try.
Well, I'd like to see as many offensive snaps as possible, so I don't want us fumbling the ball with the.
So you're just expecting that he's just going to fumble every time he gets it still.
Every time he touches it, he is going to fumble. Absolutely.
Jesus.
He's like when you rush as a quarterback in Madden, and somebody touches you with their pinky finger, you fumble.
What's Fields' Madden score gotten up to, by the way? Any guess? Are they raising that yet?
Well, so I'm obviously playing the Bears, and I'm in season 2. Like I've spent all the money, and I'm ready to go. But Justin Fields hadn't really popped yet.
Overall, with a 74 rating.
Yeah. So I felt I could edit him fairly. Like usually I will never edit a player, but I'm like, I think I should be able to edit Justin Fields. So I upped his rushing ability like mega. So
I mean, he's now
pretty damn good. As I should, right. I mean, it's only fair.
Absolutely.
So I think we're 8-2 with my Bears right now, maybe 8-4, but we're definitely gonna make the playoffs. We're a game ahead of the Packers with 4 games left on the year. I'll probably finish those tonight.
This rating, it's horseshit from what I'm seeing here. Let me see.
It wasn't good.
Updated? Oh, this was week 9. I bet this would be a little different now. Yeah. But week 9 rating was a like a 91 speed, 92 acceleration, sure. But like ball carrier ratings, carrying 59.
Well, they make it so every quarterback fumbles in that game.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah, you gotta make the changes, man. So
Is there an easier Madden, like without all the who hunks, with all the 1,000 buttons that you got now? Again,
yeah, there's a game.
I haven't played since like 03.
There's a game on the Game Pass. I think it's called like Access Football, where they're trying, because Madden's been so dominant, and they have the engine that everybody uses. I mean, that people have become accustomed to Madden's engine with no competition. There's another company that scaled it back, so the game feels like a football game from the 90s. You know, it's very simplistic, but they're trying to fix the things that Madden has wrong, like the franchise mode and some of the editing options, and be having some flexibility within the game. So I always support them. The game isn't that great, but I buy it every year just to give that company a little bit of money to continue trying to build a better football game. Because Madden has a lot of flaws, and they've ignored the customer base that I'm a part of. They've ignored my demographic, the older Madden player. I prefer to play. See, what I like to do is I like to play season mode, where you take the Bears and you play the computer, and every year there's a draft and free agency, and I like that. Most of the kids
in
play.
my day, I think it was called franchise mode.
Yeah, franchise mode, absolutely. So the franchise mode they've neglected. Meanwhile, the kids play online against each other with the mutes, and they got the mutes, and it's just a scam to buy things. You spend money, your team gets better type thing. And that's bullshit. I don't want any part of that. So, I'm hoping there's a change in the gaming industry, but the gaming industry is all about money, just like most things in this world. And
Elijah's got your back on this, Al.
Yeah.
Preach it,
Yeah,
buddy.
most Madden fans are like, every year you go on the Madden Reddit, and it's just people like, let's boycott this game. Seriously, nobody buy the next version, and then the next version comes out, and we all buy it. So,
of course,
we're to blame. We're to blame, but yeah, it needs vast improvement.
Sure.
I just started a new game yesterday where you're the police. You're a police officer, and the game isn't like, it's not about like going around and arresting people. It's about the everyday life. You set the game and you go, okay, I want to work a shift, and you set how long you want to play. So 20 minutes, and you walk around the city. Like right now, I just started the game, so I don't have a police car or anything. I just walk around the city and I check cars and I write tickets. That's all I do. That's the game right now. Sometimes I'll see a jaywalker and I'll either issue a warning, but if they give me any attitude, then I'll give them a ticket. And if I see anybody litter, I write them a ticket. But I've had a couple cars towed. It's fun.
Vera and I got back to the car after stopping at Dunkin' Donuts after dropping their mom off last week to work, where we made it back, and there was somebody walking up, the meter person walking up, and I made sure that my daughter was front and center, and I was like, oh, we're going to get you in now. It might take us just a second to get you in here. No ticket for us. The one time that I was like, this person, like, I once got a parking ticket from somebody right there, Al. I once got a parking ticket from somebody who, I got a parking ticket from somebody who had one leg, and they had crutches. And it's like, nice. Well, yeah, that's somebody that I'm not going to bitch at about my ticket.
Right. So you use the kid as a shield to like try to get an advantage, and this one-legged person had an advantage with the one leg, so you could
absolutely
argue with the disabled person giving you tickets.
I'll tell you what, you and I work in a customer service job that it can be very difficult customer service position to be in that gig that you still do. I think the meter person is just as tough as ours. Could be worse.
I've absolutely given attitude to the Meadle person, and I've scaled it back and be like, man, they're just doing their job. But
it's tough, isn't it? It's tough. It's a tough one to hold back on. It really is. Sesame there, it says you might like the simulated pressure washing video game.
Indeed, I have. I've played about 2 hours of it. I didn't get past like 2 hours, but I definitely power washed some buses and stuff.
Now I will try that. I'll tell you something. My neighbor had borrowed one, and he told me I could use it, and he told me to be careful if I got it because it's addictive.
Take your skin off. Oh
like
yeah.
He said you got to be careful because you're going to want to do everything.
Right.
Like you're going to want the whole everything. You're just going to want to not stop. Is that kind of what the game was like? Like you kept going? Like
yeah, I mean, it's relaxing, it's soothing, and it kills time. But at the end of the day, I would just rather play RimWorld with their new mods and just nonstop. I think I spent 4 or 5 hours in RimWorld yesterday, and we got new flooring. So,
Al, you, my friend, are a long-time listener, a long-time scorehead here locally. 670 the score, right?
Yeah, I'm a casual listener. Like every couple of years, I'll pop it on and get
Back
into
in
it.
the day, I think you were there a bit more than you have been these days, right? Would that be correct?
I don't listen now.
Well, you would know what I'm referencing here, but yesterday, Jim Irsay tweeted after Jeff Saturday, their new head coach, former center, got the win. All you critics, you criticize all of us in the NFL for losing. When we make moves to win, you act so righteous. Who you creppin'? Just win, baby.
Wow.
Who you crapping?
That line, of course, famous from NYPD Blue. That's Sipowicz.
No, Sipowicz was good luck with your first crap.
Oh, you're right. Yes. Who you
the NYPD Blue came from Boris asking Ditka, and he goes, "Well, you're the guy who gives me a hard time when I'm not.
Yeah, who you
when I'm too fired up. Who you crapping?" Yeah, so they started that. Irsay grew up around here, and the thought is like that's probably where he first heard it. The "Who you crapping" line. The Lebatard show picked up on it today. They had a tweet out asking if anybody had heard that phrase before, and of course, like it was just commented on with a bunch of Chicago folks being like, "Yeah, of course we have."
Let me tell you something. Just because a guy takes over a job and wins one game does not make it a good decision. You know what? The sample size is one. Jim Irsay and this Jeff this is a terrible, terrible situation. And in the long term, it is going to pan out to prove to be such. Like, you cannot just pick up a coach off the street. If you really think coaching doesn't matter that much, here's your sign. There's a 90s reference for you.
Here's your sign. Seriously, though, I wasn't positive which way you'd be going with this today at all. Yeah, there's nothing, you can't say anything yet about it other than it's still like, what the hell is going on over there?
Whose game plan is in play? This Saturday kid is not drawing up the plays. You know what I mean? He's not putting this offense together. He's not making critical decisions. He's simply a guy who comes in and goes, "Let's get motivated, guys. Let's prove we got to save our jobs."
This Saturday kid, born June 18th, 1975. This Saturday kid, 47
Saturday.
years
old. Well, what kind of name is Saturday? Stupid ass last name.
Amazing. I don't know. It's kind of a fun show going on over there, whatever the hell it is. Yeah, that's a wild win.
Also, it's not very hard when you have one of the best running backs in the league, and when you simplify when you take over a situation, when you see coaches get fired and the other coaches come in, the assistant coach takes over, all they do is simplify and run. And when you have one of the best running backs, I mean, of course you're going to win some games. Ridiculous. Damn ridiculous. They should throw this Irsay out of the league.
So Las Vegas is still just 2-7. Had they won that, they'd be right there at 3-7 with the Bears. So this Saturday thing kind of messed that up a little bit. The Bears currently, according to tankathon.com here, they would be picking sixth in the draft currently. If they had won that game at minimum, and I'm sure there's a couple tiebreakers in here that would change it up, at minimum, they'd be picking 12th, and at most it'd be 14th, 13th, somewhere in there. Yeah, that's where it is. And Al, the Bears do have their first round pick this season.
Finally, the first round has come back to Chicago. Excited. I hope we don't trade it away. No. I'm ready. I'm ready for the draft. I think we should have the draft show. I got some experts lined up this year.
Okay. I like it.
We're gonna
Tankathon right now with the mock draft has two quarterbacks going 1 and 2 to Houston and Las Vegas. An edge rusher, Will Anderson out of Alabama, going to the Panthers at 3. And then the Bears at the 6th spot, edge rusher Miles Murphy of Clemson.
Oh, yeah. Miles Murphy. Good guy.
I don't know.
Good drive. Quick twitch reflexes. So very excited about Miles Davis. He's the perfect cool.
He's the second best edge rusher after Will Anderson. I don't know. We'll see. Obviously, there's a lot of season left here. We haven't even had a bye week yet, Al. In fact, the weekend of the bye week, the family and I are going to the Chicago Theater to see Bluey live.
Ew.
At the Chicago Theater. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Nice 2 p.m. start time.
Well, breaking news in the what are you doing? Do you know I actually hate whistling? That's like one of my pet peeves. I absolutely despise whistling. I hate people who whistle. The wolf whistle should be banned. It should be executable.
Any whistle?
Especially the wolf whistle. That's the most
wolf whistle. That's ridiculous.
That's the most egregious of all the whistles. But in general, I hate whistling. That's just noise. Stop it. Like gross.
No, nothing?
Terrible. Learn to play an instrument. So
anybody listening to us, they're like, please stop whistling now.
Big news. There's only 1 week left in the Scott Fish Bowl. Your pal Big Al Larcher has qualified the playoffs. It takes 13 wins to get in the playoffs. I'm currently sitting at 16-4, and I'm ranked 155th in the country out of 3,000 players.
What? Where can I see this?
A Scott Fish Bowl leaderboard. Just look at 155. You'll see Al from Naperville, and that's me, man. I'm.
Wait a minute. You moved to Naperville?
I'm playing out of the Naperville division.
Okay. Are you leading the Naperville division?
I believe I am in wins, but not in overall score. There's a guy in the top 25 right now.
1,635 points, Al. Is that what you have?
I am first place in the division. That is correct.
Yep. And I see you there. You're right where you said you were. No joke. You're 16-4 overall. Your average score is 163.56. The first place is at 185.24.
And the guy who's in
hell of a team.
The guy who's in second place in my division is 15-5, but he has 1735. He's in the top 25. It's DFL.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, I'm I have a chance at this thing, man. I have a chance of winning the Fish Bowl. I'm in contention. So one more big week, and then it's off to the playoffs. I need a massive week from Justin Fields this week and Josh Allen. I need the duo to get the job done.
Okay. All right. I'm excited for you. That's great. Oh, and I'd like to thank you for picking my ass up in the the FFPC.
Yeah, we're almost screwed. We need to win out, and we need like one or two guys to lose, and then we'll win the division and make the playoffs.
Well, we've got a big one here for our division this week. We're playing against the number 1 team.
Good. We need to knock some guys back because
this upcoming week.
It's the top 2. It's the top 2 win-loss records, and then the remaining top 2 high scores that get in. So we're not going to get in with our high score. So we need to get in with our record. So we need to make some moves, man. We got to get there, and we have a pretty decent team. Some guys pop. Tony has popped. We've been sitting on Kadarius Tony all fucking season, and now he's playable. Had a big week this week.
I was wondering if that might happen there in KC. We'll see. All right, Al, in your league, in the Tiki Championship, Joe Green
asshole
has offered me, who I traded to him, by the way, Naheem Himes and Clyde Edwards-Helaire for Jeff Wilson.
Oh, yeah, take it.
He wants to give me Naheem Hines and Clyde Edwards-Helaire for Jeff Wilson.
Yeah, go for it.
No.
Yeah, no, you should take it.
You're being sarcastic.
The fact he gave you the league, Clark. You're going to win now because of him.
No, I mean, like, how did he give me the league?
You got fucking Waddle for nothing.
For nothing? I had to trade away the QB. I had to trade away my guy, Hurts.
Yeah, quarterback is one of the most meaningless positions in fantasy, and you know this. The equity of a top 20 wide receiver versus a top 6 quarterback it substantially leans favor for the wide receiver. So, and by the way, Waddle was mine. I drafted him.
Yeah. Do you know, I would say then that you gave me this team, maybe. No?
Yeah, I made one of the worst decisions I've ever made in fantasy football, and I will never trade again. Only people who are weak at the game trade. Like, that's just a known fact.
Is that your worst mistake of the year, or was dropping Justin Fields the worst?
Justin Fields did nothing for 7 weeks. So, yeah, I mean, it was a mistake dropping him, but I had to make some roster moves. But yeah, getting rid of Justin Fields is big. I mean,
would you not agree though? But wouldn't you agree that move, like that made Hurts somewhat expendable, and then to be able to get both Foreman and Waddle in that deal, I mean, Foreman instantly became my second best running back.
By the way, I traded to Joe Green. Both those guys I gave to Joe Green.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yes.
Thank you, Al.
That's my whole fucking team.
Like, I'm not accepting this trade from Joe Green. I'm gonna offer him something else. I might even offer him Foreman back.
I made like the biggest blunder in the history of fantasy football. I would have won this. I would have won the league, and now I'm not. Like, there's no way. I've lost my ceiling completely.
Yeah, man. No, how can you see Cup going out? You said it last week on the show. You're like, I've put it all into the Cup basket here, and it's gonna bite me. And then it fucking did, Al. I can't believe it.
I gave up way too much for something I already had a good deal with. Like, Cup and Waddle and Adams are worth more than Cup together, collectively. I should not have made that trade. Like, I didn't even research the trade. I just wow, this seems like a lot. I'd never make any moves. Let me try something.
You didn't go check it out much at all?
No, I did absolutely zero research on the value of the trade.
Yes.
Like, I jumped at it. I made a boner fucking move. And, if I wasn't ranked as one of the top 500 fantasy football players in the country right now, I would be kicking myself. But
I got to write that down. There's a cut. I made a boner. Yep. There it is. 109. All right. I don't know what makes you think that I'm going to win this, because as you may know, I'm pretty far behind right now in the league.
You're a game back, Clark, and you have the number one quarterback.
I'm in dead last in the division.
You have the number one quarterback. You have good running backs now. You have, you have good wide receivers. You have my team, Clark. You're going to win.
I have Fields, Waddle, and Foreman. They're my guys.
Yeah, all larger players. Fucking Joe Green. Joe Green should be absolutely removed from fantasy football, and he should get a lifetime ban from the sport.
Who else did you trade to him? Do you remember? Adams?
I could actually look at the trade here. Hold on.
Did you trade him Devontae Adams?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to try to get Adams out of him here.
Fuck you.
And then we'll complete the fucking thing.
Fuck you.
Done. It's done.
I gave him Foreman, Waddle. Oh wait, no, that's your trade.
Yeah.
That's a trade.
It can be kind of hard to find the trades in there, but that's fun.
Unbelievable.
I'm 4-6.
I gave him Devontae Adams, Foreman, Carter, Waddle, and Mariota.
I did almost try to make a trade for Carter today. Wow.
He gave me Fournette, who's injured and no longer starting. Murray.
Wait, Fournette's injured?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Murray,
Wow.
Murray, who's fallen to terrible.
He's injured. Kyler Murray's injured.
Cooper Kupp, who's on IR. Hunter Renfrow, who's on IR. And I got fucking Tua Tagovailoa for Devontae Adams, Freeman, and Waddle. Unbelievable.
I mean, Tua's pretty good.
Unbelievably. Shut up, Clark. No one needs the sass right now.
I'm sorry. Oh man.
One of the dumbest.
Yeah.
I am one of the generational minds of fantasy football of our generation, and I made this stupid trade to Joe fucking Green. Unbelievable.
You're one of what? The generational minds of this generation?
Of fantasy football, I am correct.
Is there anything redundant about that?
A little bit.
Has to be.
A little bit. I didn't say I was one of the generational minds of grammar and speaking. You know?
True. Absolutely.
But
true.
if you want to know fantasy football, I'm the guy you talk to. Except Clark. Clark ignores the ownership rulings that make tournament teams work.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty terrible at tournaments. But
all you have to do, you get the players right, but you have so much exposure on your ownership that at the end of the day, you can't win a big tournament. All you have to do is scale that back.
Because I spend 30 fucking minutes on it, Al, and I try to fire it in, and I'm like, maybe I'll get lucky.
So why don't you buy an optimizer that can control ownership?
My optimizer sucks.
Yeah, why don't you
can't control ownership? I've got one. What's it called? I have the site PFF, Pro Football Focus. They got one that's decent. I'm intimidated by it.
I've never even seen their optimizer.
Yeah, they've got one. It's better than theirs. I'm pissed. Like Fantasy Pros optimizer, Al. Every damn team I put together, they do double tight ends, and I have to.
You don't have an option to check no double tight end?
No, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and I tried to tweet at them about it. They don't want to answer me. It's stupid.
Because my optimizer is actually very detailed. Like I have the ability to do a lot. It generally, like, let's say I'm running 150 teams. I'll run 30 teams with double tight end, and then I'll get rid of that and then run the rest without it. So I will, if I feel like a week for double tight end, I'll do it. I think Roto Grinder is probably, I think they have a really good optimizer, and I think they're fairly cheap with good data. They're the ones I want to kind of subscribe to, but because I'm a member of such another community, like I don't want to give up my Coke just to try Pepsi. But I see a lot of good things with Roto Grinder. So,
hey, Bears fans that are watching it now, there are still people who aren't quite on this Justin Fields bandwagon. But I scroll on this tweet from Brian Baldinger here, and he says Bears Justin Fields rapid bear. No, Who are you
He's one of the biggest idiots in football. I hope he doesn't have Tony Siragusa. If they should get rid of his. Here's my idea.
Goose did die, didn't he? Goose did die, didn't he?
Goose took a dirt nap.
Oh, man.
Here's my idea to save Twitter. You should be able to control. You, the user, should be able to control the person's color of their check mark. So if it's somebody I like and trust, I should be able to set their check mark as green. You know,
I bet if you tweeted that at Elon Musk, I bet that would be in by tomorrow.
It's a good idea. Yeah, I mean, he should be trying some things. I like that.
Brian Baldinger says,
idiot.
Justin Fields' rapid development makes any analyst in this business watch every play of every week. He just keeps getting better and better. He makes me want to watch everything because the success lies in the tiniest of details.
Oh, that guy saying that is a curse.
Dude, I don't think it is. I don't think it's the curse.
How is Paul Dingers? Does he have a job even?
No, I think he's just making Twitter videos now.
Yeah.
You and I can do that. You and I could do that.
See, this is what I'm talking about, these check marks. Fucking Brian Baldinger can't get a job anywhere real, but he's got, he's on Twitter making videos. Get out of here, Brian Baldinger. What a stupid name, too. He's up there with Saturday.
I'm going to pull it up, and I'm going to play his analyst now. His analysis now. Absolutely.
Guy's dumb as a rock.
Jesus.
He is. Not a bright man. And he used to think he was so funny back in the day. Like he would try to do little bits. You know, whenever they threw to him, you know, whenever Terry Bradshaw on the Fox pregame show would throw to Baldinger for, you know, a little pregame analysis, he'd always have some bit worked out that was just not funny and stupid. The guy's he's a curse to football. He's another one. Him and Joe Green should get lifetime bans from the sport.
Well, let's just see what your guy here. Let's just take a quick look, and maybe a quick listen. I think. Let me double check this. Here
in every sport, every athlete who develops, all will tell you the same thing.
Yeah,
it just starts to slow down. Like it's just slowing down for Justin Fields. Like right here, like he's got somebody ready to grab his fanny pack. Like he can get away from that, no problem. Now, can you find your receiver Byron Pringle and deliver to him accurately? Yep. 12 yards, first down. Now you're going to bootleg here. Mooney's going to drag across the formation. He's going to put two Detroit Lions right here in a deep freeze. Like they don't really know what to do. All right, they're just frozen. Now, can you get it to Mooney?
Yep.
And put it right where you want to put it?
Yep.
No problem.
Yep.
Now this is ridiculous. Like, okay, he's going to throw it right here to Mooney, and it's like flat route. Nah, I don't know. Somebody's in the way. Let me see what I can do. Like, okay, you got Lions chasing Bears. Like he can put himself in this position right here. Like, is he the best athlete in the NFL? And come out of this thing and then just go truck to Sean Elliott. Like, drop that shoulder right on Elliott into the end zone. Like, you watch this right here and you go, okay, let's watch him go through this full progressions up here. Claypool up at the top, just watch him. All right, you got St. Brown right there, Kmet in the middle, and then he comes back all the way back over here to Mooney for 22. You watch him go through it. Like, all right, can he read the defense? Hell yeah, he can. He knows exactly what he's looking at. Like, food set is ready to throw. Claypool, no. Right,
are you not happy with what he's saying? At least, are you not happy with what he's saying?
Well, he's saying here's it. Look, right? Like if you go to the grocery store, right? Like, and you go into the freeze aisle and you see Pringles, you can go, you grab the Pringles and you get the Pringles. Like, I mean, right there, he made the play with Pringle. Freeze it. You see, I mean, this is an athlete shopping for Pringles in a grocery store. Okay, rewind it. Go back a minute. Okay, see, he looks, he sees the Pringles, and he walks over to the Pringles, and he grabs the can of Pringles, and then he eyes the frozen section, so he's gonna go get some Tostino pizza rolls. Okay, like that's just it.
So he's saying the obvious thing that's happening there, right? You saying, but it's kind of nice that the obvious thing is that Justin Fields is growing as a fucking quarterback,
100%.
and he is phenomenal in there.
I just wish somebody smarter was telling us that.
Fair enough. That's fine. Your argument, whatever. I don't know how valid it is. It sounds valid, but it's so great to see how good. Like, what about 4 weeks now? Pretty much about things were starting to come together, but about when I went and saw him live down in Dallas, he kind of really started picking it up, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. So you think you're the key addition?
I'm just saying the correlation. Hey, you didn't really play the St. Brown versus St. Brown last week, did you?
No, I didn't. I didn't play any St. Brown.
Yeah, good. Thank goodness.
Any Aquarius St. Brown. I played,
when he made an early catcher, they did an early end around with him. It wasn't really an end around. There wasn't a round. It was like the play that went to Equinemius St. Brown. It was he went into motion and Fields hiked it to him on the motion. A lot of times when you come around, they don't hand it that quick.
Right.
But they do. Fields' ball fakes are solid.
So
his progressions are getting solid.
Aquarius St. Brown, he had a play and he looked like he was involved in the game plan. And then right after on red zone, James Cook, brother of Delvin Cook, almost scored a touchdown. He got stopped at the 1 yard line. And I was like, oh my God, the double Cook, the brother narrative is going off. And I didn't play it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because that's right. Because James played against Delvin, right? Oh yeah, of course he did. Yeah. Man, that was a fun thing to switch to right after the Bears game, though. Switching to the Vikings Bills game. It was fantastic.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool Waylon Jennings shirts on the Facebook feed me app info.
Fair enough.
Yeah, man. You get a whole I spent like $1,000 on Waylon Jennings. I wish I would have won that $50,000 a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. At least a $20,000. I would be loading up on Waylon Jennings t-shirts right now. But anyways, I didn't. Fucking 11th.
You might be at SummerSlam next week then, huh?
Yeah, I would have been for sure. No, I would have done. You know what? I would have done the Royal Rumble. I'm still considering doing the Royal Rumble.
Where's Rumble?
San Antonio.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's fantastic.
I feel like maybe there's a chance The Rock pops in there. There's a chance.
Yeah.
There's a chance, Cody. I mean, it's going to be a big moment for somebody, and I've never been to a Royal Rumble.
Stone Cold, maybe?
Yeah, there's now some Stone Cold rumors popping out there.
There's some more Stone Cold WrestleMania. He's like, well, hell, if Taker could do it. Yeah. And it went fine last year. It really did. We'll see, Al. I'm a little. Do you know if the pharmacy at the Jewel Osco out here that you and I go to at the Jewel there? Is that Osco Pharmacy? Is it 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock?
I'm a Walgreens guy, buddy. I'm sorry, I don't know. They're open till midnight.
Yeah. Dude, being a late night fella, do they still have 24 hours? Because what if my kid wakes up and I've got to call the doctor on the video thing and they've got to call in a prescript? There are some, right?
No,
there's some 24-hour pharmacies still.
Walgreens used to have, the one by me used to be 24 hours, and now it now closes at midnight. And I think they open fairly early though. I think they're like 6 a.m. So midnight to 6 a.m. So there's a 6-hour gap. I'm sure there's somewhere though. There's a pharmacy open 24 hours, but I don't know of any.
Yeah, it's tough. Now I do the Jewel because they have this sticker thing. You get 5 prescriptions filled, and then you get a 20% off on all your groceries.
So So I've gone a week now with this Factor. Where they deliver a week's worth of meals for me.
Oh yeah, yeah. And what's going on there?
The food's not bad. The delivery, I got my second delivery today. I've lost like 3 pounds. So
okay,
like it's working, and I mean the food's pretty good. So
are you just doing that strictly? Are you trying to tie in a little IF on that right now?
What's an IF?
Some intermittent fasting on top of it.
I kind of got my own thing going where I wake up and I eat like a protein bar and I go to work. So I at least have something in my system. So I have 200 calories plus coffee. And that's all I eat until I get home. And then I'll eat 2 factor dinners. And they're usually like 500 to 600 calories each. So I'll eat one, it'll fill me up. And then like 3 hours later, I'll eat a second one. And then, I might have a bag of individual popcorn. And
is this strictly diet? You haven't busted out the inside bike down at the corner there or anything? This is all diet?
It's all diet right now, yeah. I'm in really bad shape. Like my knees are.
You've got to drop a couple pounds first.
Yeah.
Okay. I get it. Yeah. Okay. I like what you're doing. Hell, 3 pounds. Let's keep going. I think I just jumped back up a bit. So I'm getting in my history, Al, this is when I go the other direction. And then, in 2 years, I'm as big as I ever am again. So I'm going to try to, I don't know, stick around here. You said the meals are good?
Yeah, they are. They're in the, there's something different every day.
Do you have a code to share?
I think I would have a code to share.
I think that'd be a cool code to share. Why not?
Yeah, next week I'll have a code to share.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure there's one in the app for me to share. But yeah, I mean it's pretty good. It's they're basically a keto company. Like their main meals are keto. I'm not necessarily buying the keto plan, but you could tell like I'm not getting many carbs in my meals. Like I'm getting like a taco, like a sloppy Joe bowl. And it's basically like sloppy Joe and cauliflower with some broccoli, and it's really good, but there's no bread, there's no sandwiches, there's there is some pasta and stuff, jalapeno beef mac and cheese, chorizo chili, roasted garlic chicken, and basically asparagus in every meal. Like every meal you get a side of asparagus. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's fresh and I'm eating vegetables for the first time in a long time. So I'm happy about that.
Nice. Yeah, vegetables are a hard one to get into the diet a lot, I have found. I made a pressure cooker chicken noodle soup that I wasn't too happy with tonight. But the whole family ate it and the kids went for seconds, which isn't always a thing. And they're not big on the hot carrots. They'll eat cold carrots or the hot celery, like the cooked celery.
Yeah, they're like
they ate it all. They ate it all here. It was awesome. And it's one of those meals. Sometimes I go into it when I go to give it to everybody. I'm a little concerned. I'm like, I don't like this necessarily. And they loved it.
I like raw carrots. I will not eat cooked carrots. Cooked carrots are disgusting. Ever.
Disgusting.
I mean, like if you're giving me soup and cooked carrots are in soup, they're soaking in like a salty broth. I'm probably fine with that. But in general, like if you give me a side plate of like steamed vegetables and cooked carrots are in there, I'm picking the cooked carrots out. I'm not eating them.
Yep.
So your kids have good taste, is what I'm telling you.
No, it's fair. They ate them today. I'm not sure why, but they did.
Because they're in a salty broth.
Yeah, sure. Yep. Yeah, I think they close at 8. I know they used to close at 9. And it's frustrating. Maybe I'll try to call them because if they are, I have prescriptions to pick up. If they are, I can pick them up after we're done here.
Well, what you got to do is you got to go in there and walk up to like the line, and look just right at the line, look at the pharmacist and hand them your prescription or call your prescription in and it'll be ready for you.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Brian Baldinger. Much appreciated here today.
Side analyst. Man,
I learned. You couldn't have done it any better.
So I'm on the Reddit, and there's the Mandela effect section of the Reddit, and
I don't follow that one. But
I found out yesterday that Bob Barker is still alive. I had no idea. I thought he was dead. I remember Bob Barker dying, but nope, Bob Barker is still alive.
Yeah, that one's not Mandela effect, Al.
No,
I'm sorry.
No. There's a lot of things that aren't quite Mandela effect that they claim.
Oh, there are? Hey, I saw your wrestling channel up on the Plex the other day. It's not always like maybe you restarted that computer or something.
Yeah, I'm on the computer a lot more lately. Like I've been playing games off it, and the new Rim World came out, and I've been focusing a lot more on fantasy football. Like this is the time of the year where.
That makes a lot of sense. Yep, that's great. What'd you think of Raw last night? Hell, I put him on our thumbnail this week. I put a little bit of Raw in there. I don't know if you had a chance to see it really, but I had him there. There's the club up there in the middle. Like, it's a whole hodgepodge of things. And then there's what's his name stepping on top of Rollins down on the bottom right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Rygar. Look at Rygar made the list.
Yeah, Rygar made it. Of course, Rygar's in there. What the hell?
Look how cute she is. She's not mad in that picture. She's just talking.
I thought she was pissed. I thought she was pissed. Yeah. She's just saying hello.
She's just like, meh, meh, meh.
Well, she's trying to get Ziggy's messing up over there, so she's pissed. So there you go.
Yeah, I liked her all last night. There's not a lot I remember from it. I like the aggression. I like the story they're telling with Austin Theory. I think that's a really cool story where, it was
this guy. His character a bit, huh?
Yeah, he had a little bit of a character change. I mean, here's a guy who was hot girls here. Let me click that immediately.
We got the bots. God damn it. Let me click here.
So he was hand chosen by Vince McMahon, who was going to be the next big star. And Vince McMahon on television, on the show. And, Vince McMahon was like his protege. But then Vince McMahon got caught clicking the hot girl's hair button, and they threw him out. So he's gone. So Austin Theory's been kind of floating around trying to find himself. And he's been silly, but he won the Money in the Bank. So last week he took the Money in the Bank, and he, instead of cashing it on the world title, he cashed it in on the U.S. title, and he ended up losing. And now he's having a crisis of character moment. And he's a kid who's been told he's been great his whole life, but yet everyone's been against him. And he's finally snapped. And now a mean streak is coming out, which hopefully will turn it around for him. And, he'll start finding himself as a heel. It's good stuff. I'm enjoying that.
That's great. That's perfect. That's fun. I am impressed with, I don't know, it seems like Seth Rollins is in a hell of a place in his character. When I came back and I watched a little bit, it seems quite weird for me. But what I'm impressed, like, everybody seems in. And he's not a heel, but he's just as much of a smarky asshole as ever right now. Am I wrong on that? Like, no. He plays it as a heel still. Right. I don't know. He's great. I like it.
He hasn't changed his annoying demeanor yet. The audience is turning him face, and they're going with it. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens there.
Yep. Absolutely. Huh. Are you going to get a Brock at what's it called? Are you going to get Brock at Royal Rumble when you go?
Well, I doubt. I mean, realistically, I doubt I'm going. It's just kind of a thought right now.
Well, you win big this week, and then here we go.
Yeah, if I win big this week, or if this car, like, if somehow this car isn't going to cost me a lot of money to pass the emissions, get an oil change, and quiet it down a little bit, then maybe. But right now, I got to see where my car's. Back in the day, you used to drop your car off at the mechanic, and they would call you that day and let you know what was going on. I dropped it off Monday at 9 a.m. I didn't hear anything from them Monday. I heard nothing from them today. So I've heard nothing about my car situation. I'm going to have to, take an Uber to work most likely tomorrow, because I doubt they're going to finish tomorrow, but we'll see.
Yep. Well, buddy, It's been a wonderful evening doing this show with you. Did you have any daily fantasy, early daily fantasy thoughts at all, or nothing out there yet?
Let me just pull it up real quick because I did look it over already. The Bears are in a good situation. I like the Bears stack. Oh, you know what it is?
What did you say, Fields? What's Fields up to?
He's like at he's in the 7,000 range.
Okay.
He's still probably the best play at the high end quarterbacks, but I think you win tournaments by spending down. And I really like Danny Dimes' situation this week. I believe I don't have it in front of me, but I believe they're playing the Minnesota Vikings and I'm sorry, the Miami Dolphins. And if that's the case, Danny Dimes, he could get the job done. We've seen what people have been able to do against the Miami Dolphins. And plus then you get the ability to run back the Dolphin players anyways. So yeah, I mean,
the fourth highest QB in the slate. Wow. Al.
What's up?
The Chicago Bears have the fourth highest QB in the slate. And it's not like a fluke. It's not like about who they happen to be playing this week and whatnot.
A little bit.
I mean, it kind of, don't get me wrong. A little bit. Yeah. But no, he's played himself into that in the last month or so.
Well,
unbelievable.
But let's remember, being a great fantasy football quarterback doesn't necessarily mean you're a good actual quarterback.
So like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Jalen Hurts, who are the three guys ahead of him right now. Joe Burrow, who's right behind him. Dak Prescott just behind there.
Yeah. Those guys you mentioned were good fantasy plays when they were bad quarterbacks still developing. And then they developed into good quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts, I mean, there was a question if they should just get rid of the guy a couple years ago. They kind of threw him in as a flyer, like, hey, let's let this guy see what he could do, as a rushing quarterback.
Yeah.
And he earned it. But I mean, there was talk that he was a bust. There was talk that, Josh Allen was a bust. And both those guys are now considered elite quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson, pretty much from the get-go, was pretty well received. He didn't have a lot of critical. Vacuum cleaner?
Let's see what this is. Huh?
Is that a vacuum cleaner? I kind of like Russ Wilson this week against the Raiders. I mean, we know the Raiders are shit.
Yeah.
And, Russ Wilson is a guy nobody's going to want to own. And he's cheap. He's 5,800, and I think he has a real ceiling.
Russ, I like that play.
And then Marcus Mariota against the Bears is a nice kind of like flip, pivot off of Justin Fields. You get a rushing quarterback against a terrible defense in a game that could be steamed. I mean, let's face it, the Bears could put up points. They have been. And that game could shoot out. So the problem is the Atlanta Falcons throw the ball less than the Bears. Like, they're just slow plotting offense. So, I mean, it's not an exciting game. That would be a tournament only, like, long shot. But, yeah, I mean, so there's some good stuff. We'll talk about Friday on the show after I've done more research and kind of have a better take on the field. And
cool.
Sounds good.
That sounds good. Yeah. Sounds really good. Friday morning, I'll be here and awake for it. For the daily fantasy show. 5 a.m. it's live. That means that when you wake up, if you're waking up after that, you can just download it real quick and take it with you on the road. Listen to it. Al, for those who may not have played daily fantasy, like, jump on into this Draft Kings Main Slate with Al a little bit. Like, maybe just, hear the names that he's talking about. Play a few of those guys. Let's see.
Yeah.
Al, because I'm telling you, like, even if you're not, winning playing 150 lineups, play a few of them. Sprinkle them out there. Listen to Al on Fridays tell you how to do this thing.
Well, I will if you want to play fantasy, daily fantasy, if you want to play the main slate on Sundays and you've never played before, hit me up. I have no problem walking you through what you need to do, what game you need to be in, the style of play you should go for. And big breaking news, Clark. I don't know if you saw this earlier. I'm surprised you didn't lead with this if you had seen it. But Garth Brooks has announced he's returning to Vegas for another residency. So he's going to Caesar's Palace. So maybe we'll plan a trip and go see Garth at the Caesars.
Oh, I like that idea, Al. I'm interested to see, because when he did The Win, it was, like a stage show. It was the story of who Garth Brooks is. It wasn't his songs. I bet this Caesars thing, maybe he's gonna, maybe he'll go complete Elvis on this.
Yeah,
maybe
he'll do like a big show.
Yeah.
Doors closing.
Doing the Vegas residency, it's just you and a guitar, so it's real intimate, right? Brooks said. But
that's what he did the last time.
But then when you want to get big, when you want to do Calling Baton Rouge with Jimmy Mattingly on fiddle and the big hard guitars, you didn't have them in the first residency. They're here. They're in the crowd. So call them up at any time.
There it is. There it is. It's going to be a full show when you need it. Oh, that a boy. Man, he can sell anything. He can sell anything. All right. Good night, y'all.
We'll see you.